Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. You're watching my How to Stunt series based off of my new ebook, How to Stunt in Hollywood, which is available on the Amazon Kindle store. This is actually going to be the last video in the series. I hope that you have enjoyed these. I'm really trying to give you as much information that I can to hopefully help some of you, better understand how to get into the industry or just move towards what you really want to do. And the last question I have is, one of the most popular questions is, what advice would I give to somebody wanting to get into the industry, to do maybe something that I'm doing, or also just to follow their dreams and take that next step. So first of all, I'm going to focus on what I recommend to people who want to get into the industry. And there are so many different routes to getting into the industry, and dependent on what you want to do. I don't know all of the answers. I can just tell you what has worked for me and what I see others around me doing. Okay, so I'm first going to start out with stunt work. If you want to become a stunt professional, number one is, if you have a skill that you want to share and you think it can be valuable to film sets or TV shows, put it online, get it out there. Hopefully you can collaborate with other creators and really just start building up a team of people that like to do the same thing as you. Get yourself out there, get your skills out there to show to the world. Obviously, if you're out of sight, you're out of mind, and if you're out of sight, it's hard for people to get to know you or what you can bring to the table. So that is the number one advice I always give to people. So if you have a skill set already that you think would be valuable to the industry, I say get it out there as soon as you possibly can. And on that note, if you don't yet have a skill set but you're really eager to learn, I would recommend finding the people you want to learn from. So I don't know where you live, but in Los Angeles, there's many different gyms that you can train at, and a lot of stunt professionals go there. You can train with other stunt professionals, kind of see what they're doing in their training regimen, and usually stunt people are so cool and they just want to help you, because we've all been there. It's just like getting into any job or any position. The people around you understand that it's difficult and they want to help. So I definitely recommend going to gyms to build up your skill set. So again, if you don't have a skill set already, that is totally fine. It's about wanting to achieve the skill set that you want and building up a nice broad range of skills to be useful in the industry. It's great to be athletic overall so that you can kind of fit into several different roles and several different projects. But if you do have a particular skill set that you're really good at, I would harness that as much as possible. Really focus on that, but don't forget to train other areas so that you are malleable. Because when you get on set, you may need to change things on the fly. So it's very important to be able to not just be stuck in one way of thinking or one skill set. It's so important to broaden your horizons and broaden your skill set. So look, you can put both of those things together. You can train at gyms with other stunt people, and then you can also film yourself at the gym training with other stunt people. Maybe you can create a fight scene or do some moves, something that you're learning. It's very important to film yourself too. You see your progress, and also if you want to share that, to make a reel for yourself in general, to kind of send out to people and put out into the world for people to see you. Okay, next, really important in the stunt industry is the thing called hustling. So hustling is when stunt professionals take their resume and reel to a coordinator who allows hustling while he or she is on set. So basically it's building up a relationship so that the stunt coordinator knows who you are. Maybe on the show that he or she is working on right now, they might need somebody like you, and perfect, you're there. So the idea of hustling is just letting the coordinator know who you are, so that the coordinator can hire you in the future, hopefully. And on that note, it's so important to network with people. So like I said, training at gyms is super important, but also any events, any groups, any chats you need to be a part of, because again, social media is amazing, and it was a lot harder for stunt people in the past, to have this sort of connection. So really try to take advantage of it. There's different communities on Facebook, and there's different groups to be a part of now. So I would really look into that. Basically, what I'm trying to say is throw yourself out there in as many different directions as possible. Get to know as many people as possible. Work as many jobs as possible, even if they're for free, because we all have to do that. I worked free projects in the beginning, and it was necessary because the people that I worked with then, you know, talked about me to other people. It was so vital to do those free projects, to learn, you know, how to be on set and how to work with each other and learn more about the camera and the setups and just the whole process, right? And also just for the networking aspect of it as well, because stunt community is kind of small, and everybody kind of tends to know each other. So, you know, once you work with one person, they might recommend you to somebody else, and it just keeps growing from there, and you just keep stepping up the ladder. So in the beginning, I really would recommend just throwing yourself out there safely in as many directions as you can and working with as many people as possible. On that note, don't oversell yourself ever. Don't say that you can do something when you can't, because you're not gonna have a long career like that. Because, you know, like if I'm the coordinator and you tell me you can do a backflip and we get on set and you can't do a backflip, that would make me, the coordinator, look really bad. So you don't want to do that to people, because that's just not right, and it gets in the way of things. It's not respectful to the coordinator and the production and the people you're working with. You want to be as safe as possible and make them as safe as possible as well. So never tell people you can do something when you can't. Okay, so now the next thing is more for acting or just the industry in general, is to do your homework. And when I say that, I mean watch films, yes, but also watch behind the scenes. Listen to directors talk, listen to actors talk, listen to the action designers talk. You know, it's so important to learn from the best. Why wouldn't you? You know, and we have access to learning from all these amazing people. So do it. Learn from these amazing people. So watch behind the scenes of like how, you know, action pieces are put together, or how an actor made a certain decision. You know, there's so much you can learn from these professionals, and I highly, highly recommend doing your homework, reading as much as you possibly can, watching as much as you possibly can, and most importantly, doing as much as you possibly can. Getting on camera when you can, because, you know, especially as an actor, or if you come from theater, it's a completely different realm getting in front of the camera, you know, and especially when the camera's close up, you know, so your reactions need to be different when the camera's close up as opposed to maybe like a wide shot. You know, your body language needs to be different. So it comes with time, and I'm still learning with everything. I'm still, you know, networking, I'm still growing my career, I'm still doing all these things that I'm talking about. But it's really, really important to get yourself on camera if you want to perform, to kind of evaluate yourself and truly see you for what you are. And it's hard to judge yourself, obviously, but really it's about just becoming comfortable in front of the camera. Like anything, the more you do it, the more comfortable you're gonna be. And the last thing I recommend for the film industry is learn more aspects of filmmaking. So if you want to be an actor, don't just learn how to act. If you want to be a stunt performer, don't just learn, you know, the skills that you need to do that. Learn as much as you possibly can about filmmaking, because it's going to make you a better performer in general. If you know what lens to use, if you know how a camera operates, if you understand your lighting as an actor, if you understand the environment and everyone else's jobs and editing, it's going to make your performance so much better. So for example, as an actor, like I already stated, if you understand how to play with each lens size and really know how to work your lighting, it's just going to make your performance so much better. Same as a stunt performer or coordinator or anything in that realm, it's important to understand camera work. Not only because you can move up to being a second unit director, action director, or, you know, a director in general, but also because if the camera's not on you, you don't need to hurt yourself and fall to the ground. Or if the lens is so tight that it doesn't see the ground, you can put a mat there. So things like that will really give you a better performance and save yourself as well. You know, you don't want to hurt yourself if the camera isn't even going to be showing what you're doing. So very important that you learn about cameras, and also about editing and lights, like I said, but understanding filmmaking in general, if you want to get into the industry, is vital. And I find it very important to understand the director as actor or stunt performer, you know, you can often tell when a director has an editing background or a theater background. You can tell the way that they work, and it's important to understand their language to better understand what they're trying to say and their vision. So like many other things, being knowledgeable is always going to make you look that much better. Okay, so I could probably recommend a lot more things, but that is a good chunk of recommendations, and if you are looking to get into the stunt industry or become an actor, I would highly recommend doing some of those things. I think they could really help you. Okay, now for some things that I recommend in just moving towards your goals and dreams. This is a hard one because we're all different people, we all have different stories, and I can't tell you how to live your life or what exactly you can do, but all I can tell you is that it's possible. And it's possible because I believe it's possible, and because I work hard to make it possible. I create the life that I want, and I create the career that I want. It doesn't always go my way. It definitely doesn't always go my way, but I keep moving forward because that is my goal, because I know it's attainable. Just like most things in life, they're attainable, like they're achievable. And what I've realized lately is that it's not about how good your excuses are, because nobody really cares about your excuses. It's about where you go, where you come from, and where you go. So, you might think like this person had more money, so of course they're higher than me, and I used to think about that all the time. I was like, well, that person's privileged. Like I didn't grow up with that. Like of course I'm not going to be as successful as that person, but sometimes it works to my advantage. Like sometimes the person who grows up with everything is so used to having everything, they're just so comfortable and they don't have much drive or motivation, as opposed to somebody who grew up with like not much. They might have more motivation. So like whatever your story is, wherever you come from, use that as power and harness it and move forward towards your goals. And I know this is such a cliche thing to talk about, of like, moving towards your goals, but it's something that I think a lot of people just kind of push off because they have excuses. And again, like I said, excuses don't matter. Nobody cares about your excuses. People just remember what you did. So I challenge you today to write down 3 things that you would love to be doing and getting paid for it. And 3 things that you really love. And if you're already doing that, awesome. And if you're not, really try to dig deep and figure out how you can. Figure out how other people have, because there are billions of people in this world. I'm sure you can learn from somebody who's been in a similar situation as you, who wanted to get somewhere, maybe the same place that you want to get to. Like maybe everything was just against them and they became the doctor they wanted to become, and maybe your story's similar. Maybe you want to do something that they did. My point is, there are so many people that you can learn from and be inspired by, and realize that it's possible to have the life you want, to live the life you want, to be what your dreams are telling you to be. I'm really trying not to sound cheesy. I know this can sound cheesy often, but there's no better way to say it than just start moving. Don't give yourself excuses. Your excuses truly don't hold any weight, because again, people will forget about them. The excuses don't matter. They come and go. So leave them alone, put the excuses in a box, and just move forward. Like just try, because at the end of the day, this is your life and you can do whatever you want to do with it. So why wait anymore? Life goes by quick. I challenge you to write down 3 of the things that you would love to be doing. And if you want to share them down in the comments, that's amazing. I would love to hear them. I still have things that I am working towards, and for me, that's one of the fun things about life, is like failing and moving forward and getting better and achieving the next goal and the next one, and just becoming the best version of myself that I can. So if you can, write down those 3 things that you would love to be doing, whether it's like writing in your journal on the beach and getting paid for it because you're a photojournalist, or becoming a doctor, or going back to school, or becoming an entertainer. There's so many things in the world that you can do. I want to know what you would love to be doing and what's holding you back. There's so many things that can hold us back. So if I can be of any inspiration I just want to tell you to move towards your goals and don't look back. Truly, you can do whatever you want in this amazing life. You can be whoever you want in this amazing life. You just need to harness who you are, understand who you are. You can't get somewhere unless you know where you want to go. So know where you want to go and move towards it. Thank you so much for watching my How to Stunt series. I hope you've gained some inspiration and some insight into the industry, and that you've enjoyed the series overall. Again, if you want to hear more stories and advice about the industry and just life in general, go ahead and check out my book, How to Stunt in Hollywood. There's a link down below for you. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so now. And if you have, hit the notification bell. And if you want to stay updated on everything I'm doing, I will leave a link to my email list down below. You can subscribe and receive early access content and VIP content, as well as 25 free pages of my book. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.